Welcome to R&B Sauce. This is DJ Pineapples, and today we have a very special guest in the building. She's from Norway, is a musician, songwriter, and amazing vocalist, and she just released her latest single, Dangerous. Welcome, Hillari.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
Girl. I'm good. I'm wide awake.
You are. We're just saying that this is actually quite early for us,
It
right?
is.
So, Hillari, I want to take it back to the start. What are some of your first musical memories?
Oh, I think my first one is back in the Philippines. So I grew up in the Philippines for about like 6 years, and then I remember when I was living with my grandmother, she used to give me like literal money, like coins, just to perform in front of my aunties.
Oh, that's
and my
so
uncles.
Sweet.
You know, it was like almost like child labor, but but it was so nice, and you know, bring back those memories. Just kind of like, it makes my heart warm.
That's so sweet. And what songs did you perform?
Girl, this is so weird because I had like Black Eyed Peas. I grew up on Black Eyed Peas, Nora Jones, Pussycat Dolls.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I sang that in front of my aunties
it.
and my uncles as a 6-year-old.
Don't you? Wish your girlfriend was.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was like that was kind of like pop as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That was like popping out on TV around that time.
And what kind of music did your family play? Was it that?
Not because that was mostly like the radio, but I remember like Alicia Keys, Nora Jones was always playing in the background in the radio, and of course a lot of Filipino karaoke music. Of course, we gotta have that.
So they had good taste then.
Oh yeah, they did. They definitely did.
And when did you start singing? What age would you say?
Girl, I think I started singing when I was 6, because I used to be originally a tambourine girl at church. You know that? Yeah, I was so like playing tambourine, girl. Like I was playing tambourine in church, and then I kind of more like, I think when I was 6, I leaned towards more singing and dancing, but more towards singing. Yeah.
Was that the kind of like church influence though?
I definitely think so.
Yeah.
I think it was a church influence, but also just like the Filipino culture. Like every holiday, every events, like my uncles, my aunties, my grandmothers were singing. Even though they were mad drunk. Yeah. Like,
so could they sing?
Oh, girl, every Filipino household has a karaoke machine.
I mean, do you know what? I've seen, like, some of my friends, Filipinos, they have amazing voices. And even on, like, TikTok. Like, there's something, you know.
It's kind of in the air, like, in the blood.
It really is. But I say that as well because, like, growing up in church, I feel like that's where a lot of the best singers come from as well. So,
definitely, yeah.
You got the foundation there.
Yeah.
And I know you also play guitar and piano. So when did you start playing those instruments?
I played piano when I was around 6, 7 as well. And I learned that back in the Philippines. And I remember, like, my mom used to, she used to force me to, like, take these piano lessons. And I hated it because it was classical. And so every time my piano teacher would be like, yeah, play those notes. And I would, like, kind of pretend to read the notes, but actually I was just like playing by ear, like, yo, I just gotta memorize it. So I really wasn't a fan of it at that time, but right now I'm feeling so blessed that I took those like piano lessons, because if it wasn't, like, I hated it back then, but right now I'm feeling so grateful that I get to actually practice it in my everyday life now.
And you still play by ear?
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's a lot of the best piano players though.
Yeah,
you know?
play by ear, yeah.
So you don't read music?
I don't read music. No.
You don't need to.
We don't need
really
to.
don't need to.
And also, like, my dad played, he played guitar. And so he taught me when I was like around 12. So shout out to my dad.
Yeah, musical family. And is there a specific album or artist that you would say like really sparked your love for R&B?
I think it was Daniel Caesar. Okay. Listening to Freudian, just... Is it Freudian? Is it like how you pronounce it? Yeah. I was just like... like listening to it for the first time, I was just like, what type of music is this?
Yeah, it's a great album.
Yeah.
It's an amazing album. It's a great start, for sure. So, being from Norway, what is the R&B scene like there?
It's definitely very small. So the R&B scene there is amazing. A lot of great R&B artists like SZA. And it's amazing, but it's very small. And I really wish that Norway had been like more exposed to the R&B scene out there. But slowly but surely, we'll bring it back to Norway.
For sure,
bring
you're
it to Norway.
representing. Hillari is representing. So Hillari, you released your debut EP, How Is Your Soul, last year. One of my standout tracks is Loyal. I love that stripped back acoustic feel. It really shows off your beautiful vocals. Can you tell us about that session?
Girl, I remember like I was in the bedroom, and I was in my bedroom, and then while my family was, making food in the kitchen, I was like, I'm just gonna kill time right now. So I basically took my guitar, I just sang over a couple chords, and then I put it in my voice memos, and then I think it was just like a freestyle for 8 minutes. And then after, when I heard the melodies, I was like, okay, let me structure this out. And then I remember I sat with that voice memo for like 2 or 3 months. And then after that, I showed it to my producer, and then we worked on it. And then originally it was going to be a piano track. And then we just didn't know how to like move forward with the song. We were like, what is happening? Like, we're, tried adding drums and everything. And then I think a couple months after that, we were like thinking, you know what? Less is better.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's why we just had it stripped down, just acoustic and my voice. And as you said, like it brings in like the feels, the soulfulness when it's less production. So that's how it came out.
And you also had like 3 features on that added after, right?
Yeah, I did. So there was one Norwegian artist called SZA. He's an amazing R&B artist out there. And also Jolianne, which is a R&B princess in the Philippines. And then also Rini. Yeah, so I also did a feature with Rini.
I love that. So let's get into your track, Desperate Soul. That song is incredible. Your vocal delivery is perfect. You really translate so much feeling and emotion. Can you give us some insight on creating that track?
Oh, girl, honestly, like this was also freestyle. Wow. And because I remember I was like starting to pack up my bags after a long session, and then my producer, Morten Gilleboom, he's like my producer, my main producer, my go-to. And then I remember like when we were wrapping up the session, he was just playing over these chords, and I was like, yo, that's so interesting. And so, like when your gut feeling is just tell you like, okay, put up your voice memos right now, like do something.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let me actually do that. So I put out my phone and then clicked on voice memos, and then I just started singing out, and then that was a song. And then I was like, yo, it just came to me, And I think the best things just comes to you naturally, effortlessly.
That's so true.
Yeah, and so I remember it was like a 10-minute voice memo. And then so I went back home because it was pretty late. And then after that, I just started writing the lyrics. And
so is that normally what you do? You like put your melody down first, and then you kind of work out like what you're going to write about. And
that's my process, just like filling out the music. And that's kind of like my goal, to just have just to have that type of music that's for the soul, that really like brings in the emotions, the raw feelings. And so that's why I often start with melodies first, and then write the lyrics when it feels right.
For sure.
Yeah, because I don't want to have anything forced.
And do you know what? Talking of that, I noticed you use the word soul a lot. From the track Desperate Soul to your EP, How Is Your Soul? And I know your slogan is for the soul, right? Yeah. What does that word soul mean to you?
I think growing up, just seeing like how gospel singers were like so deep in like, they were like drowning in emotions, and like they're very deep in it, And so I got very much inspired by that as a young kid. And I think the more that I grew up, the more that I saw how powerful music is, that it's really like a healing tool, like it's so it can move people, it can touch people's lives. And that's why that's kind of like my dream, to have that same music to touch people's lives. And it's really just like music is way deeper than we think. It's way bigger than we think. And so that's why I think it's for the soul. It's something bigger than us.
Like I was saying to you, like you can have like such a bad day, you'll put music on it, feel like everything's gonna be okay, like it's just,
exactly,
it makes you cry, it makes you happy. It's just so and
powerful.
Thank you for making like music with depth and feeling, and soul.
Thank you.
Because like we were talking earlier before the interview about like, not saying that we don't love trap R&B, but we needed something,
we need some depth sometimes, of course.
100%,
definitely.
So let's get into your latest single, Dangerous. What was the inspiration behind that track?
Girl, honestly, life and my mom. That was
Filipino.
Yeah. So The thing is, I grew up listening to a lot of bossa nova at home. She played a lot of bossa nova, like Brazilian funk, like, like that type of music at home. And then I remember when my producer, the same producer, Morton, when he played over this like little instrumental, I was like, yo, that's kind of fun. Let me actually like try to freestyle over that. And so I did. And then I remember when writing it, it was just like, I remember when life just hit me, because Dangerous is about, it's like a mom saying that you can't have too much fun. Because sometimes when life just gets too good to be true, life just like hits you unexpectedly, and so that's what Dangerous is about. It's kind of like a reminder to just put your feet on the ground, stay humble, because life can just hit you anytime, girl.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what Dangerous is about. It's a dangerous world we live in.
For sure. And I love the up-tempo vibe. And also, like, when I was looking at some of your performances, I was like, your stage presence is actually amazing.
Girl, thank you.
Like, for being so early on, though, like, you really own the stage. And also, you're dancing. Like, you're a dancer. And I saw that dancing is, like, your first love, right?
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah.
Yeah, no, listen, it's only a year in, and you're already performing like that. It's amazing.
Thank you.
So going back to like your songwriting, what is your process then? Is it always gonna be the melody first? Like how does it work for you?
Yeah, so oftentimes it's the melody first, but it depends on the day, honestly, because sometimes I love writing poetry, because I remember when I was young, like my mom always encouraged me to like journal every single day. She was like, before you even say good morning to me, say good morning to your journal first and write down your thoughts, write down your prayers, your emotions. She used to really like teach us to do that since I was young. So I've been journaling for quite some time now. And so taking that inspiration from journaling, I kind of lean towards more poetry as well sometimes. I touch into poetry, and then when I rap poetry sometimes I really get inspired to just deepen the message and then make it into a song.
For sure. But you know what? I've even heard that like if you're struggling with creativity, one of the best things you can do in the morning is write your thoughts down on paper.
Wow.
And like it helps spark like your
No, definitely, because
so
you're checking in with yourself, like, okay, what am I actually feeling today?
Exactly.
Like, let me write about that. Yeah.
But you know what? I also want to say that I saw a video of you freestyling like melodies. I think it was with Cardiak.
Yeah.
Girl. You actually killed it, because he was like, you were doing it, and then he was like, okay, change it up.
Like guiding me, yeah.
No,
Shout out to Tristan for guiding me, for real, because it was an amazing session, and it was also our first session. So it was
really?
Magical, yeah. I think it's just something magical when you just click with somebody like that,
Wow,
Yeah.
And I saw that like you got some love from artists on that as well, right?
Girl, when I saw that SZA liked it, I was like, oh, she knows that I exist.
And that's like for like a songwriter.
Yeah.
SZA is such a huge,
Yeah,
part
shout
of
out to SZA, Masego,
getting that cosign.
West Side Boogie.
And how do you stay inspired? Because you do go to a lot of sessions.
Yeah, I do. For me, I really just make sure that I check in with myself, and what I usually do to get inspired is just to go out in nature. I love being outside, taking a walk, that European lifestyle, taking a stroll outside, and just making sure that I have some time for myself and not just work, and remind myself that I am first and foremost a human being that loves music. I won't let music consume me, but it's just more of that. I just remind myself that I gotta live life.
100, because then you're living life, and then whatever's happening to you, you're getting inspired from them situations.
Exactly,
like,
right? Yeah.
So also being like a musician, do you feel like that helps with like your melodies and stuff like that?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
for sure. I think that's my main inspiration.
I can imagine. And I also want to say a big congratulations, because you got a songwriting placement writing for Tink.
Right?
On her track Streets Ain't For Me. How did that feel?
Girl, I couldn't believe it, because that was my first placement ever, and it was even like before I released anything.
Wow.
And I got that news when I was back in Canada. I literally just threw myself out there in Canada, like as a 17-year-old, just like reaching out to producers and staying there for a week. And
really?
yeah, and so it was like such a big blessing. I was just like, wow, because throwing yourself out there really just like God will just like give you your rewards, just for throwing yourself out there.
So how did that opportunity happen then? Was it so this was in Canada that you actually wrote that song?
No, actually. I was like back home in Norway. And so what I usually do when I have spare time is that I play, keys or guitar, and then I sing like some vocals over it, and then I send those vocals out to producers. And then one of those producers called David, he got, and he really liked the track that I did, and then he sampled it, and then he sent it out to a couple more producers, and it eventually ended up in Tink's hands.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah.
That's amazing though. Like
Yeah,
that being your first place.
No, it was crazy because the thing is I didn't even have a Mac to record. I didn't have mic. I didn't have an interface. I really just did the most out of anything, out of my phone, really. And
so was it like through Instagram and just hitting up like producers that you kind of
exactly
you just send it DM, send it over, and then
and that's an evidence that just
put yourself out there.
Put yourself out there and never make an excuse for what you don't have, because
exactly
you got to make the most of what you have.
Social media now, like just being able to connect with people all over the world, 100%. Send things over.
Yeah.
And is that something that you want to do more of, like write for other artists?
Definitely. I love doing that.
Who would be like your top artist to write for?
Oh my gosh, girl. This is a great responsibility. I would love to write for Kaytranada.
Kaytranada? That's it. Okay.
I would love to write for Kaytranada for.
But would you like to be featured on that then? Because he don't sing,
really,
right? He's in the production.
I know.
So
but at the same time, he has like these smaller artists that kind of like future, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I would love to write for Kaytranada, for Joyce Rice.
Joyce Rice, I love Joyce Rice. She's so good.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Shout out to her. She's amazing. And honestly, girl, those are the two people that come to my head. Yeah?
I mean, they work together as well with Ice-T.
They do.
Ice-T.
Yeah.
So I noticed that you spend a lot of time out in LA. How's it been connecting with the R&B scene out there?
Girl, it's amazing. I really like LA, and I think LA is such a special place, especially when you want to lock in and you want to hustle, and you want to work purposefully towards an album or a project. It's the best place that you can do it at.
For sure, I agree. Just like the R&B scene out there, I feel like so much of them live in LA.
Oh yeah.
And I saw a picture of you with, is it Tiara Thomas?
Yeah. I work with her. Girl, I honestly, when I knew, or when I found out that I was going in a session with her, I was like, this is crazy, because she's an amazing and so talented writer, and she's written for her.
Exactly.
And she's one of my inspirations as well. And
that's like hers.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Since she was 14. Wow. And so just being in a session with her was such a blessing. Yeah, and then doing that within my debut year was just even more of a blessing.
So like working with like writers like her, did you pick up some kind of gems?
Girl, I did. I really learned a lot from them, and I'm still pretty new and I'm still pretty fresh, so that's why I'm like I'm trying to learn as much as I can when I go into these sessions, especially when these people have been like in the industry for so long.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I really just try to be open and receive that lesson from them.
Yeah, absorb it all in.
Absorb it.
And you also have been working with Camper and Cardiak, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Girl, I mean, I've never been to a session with them, from scratch, but it's been amazing, and I think it's such an honor that I get to use one of their beats or instrumentals over my vocals. And so it's more than I could have imagined.
You sound amazing on it though. Like I've heard a few of the songs and I'm like, oh, you got some heat coming.
Nah, I'm excited to release it.
And also I want to say shout out to Malek as well. I know you've been in London
Shout out to Malek, our guy, for real.
You've been stuck in sessions out here,
I've
right?
been stuck in sessions and I'm loving it. I love working in London because I feel like, I don't know where you guys get this coolness or this swag from, this originality from, but I really get inspired. Because the R&B scene out here is so different. I really think so.
You feel like different from Norway or just different from the rest of the world?
Just different from the States, different from Norway. I think it's just, it has that soul.
I feel you, for sure. Who are some of your favorite like UK R&B artists?
Oh, I got a lot. Sampha. I love Mustafa. Is Mustafa from here? No, he's from Canada, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so it's Sampha, Debbie. I love Kari. Stormzy isn't an R&B artist, but I love Stormzy with my heart, yo. I love Stormzy with my chest.
Definitely not R&B, girl. You need him on a feature, though. You need him to do a
girl,
rap.
that's my dream. That's my dream.
So you know what? You've also supported Masego, right? At the start of the year. How was that experience?
Girl, it was amazing. It was so surreal. And it was such a big milestone for me because I've never been in a supporting act like on tour for somebody like that's an established artist.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it was so surreal because getting to travel to Denmark and Sweden and Norway, of course, where I come from, it was just amazing. And it was such an honor. Yeah, and just seeing him live as well, so inspiring. And I'm happy that I got to connect with his team as well.
Listen, them things, always keep them close to your heart and always stay connected and
Yeah,
networking with people is so important. I saw Masego a few years ago as well. And yeah, just like, again, a musician as well, right? So his stage performance.
Stage presence is insane.
Exactly. Amazing. So Hillari, I want to get into some questions about R&B, okay?
Let's go.
Can you give me 3 songs that you would consider modern day R&B classics?
Best Part is a classic.
For sure. Wedding song.
Oh yeah,
Number
wedding
one.
song. Yeah, go to karaoke song.
Exactly.
Pink and White by Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
It's different. And also I Want You Around by Snow Allegra.
I hear the soulful vibes from you with them choices.
Yeah.
What about your top 3 R&B albums? But this is like of all time.
Of all time.
All time.
Of course, Voodoo by D'Angelo.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Yeah. I also think, man, of all time. The thing is, I'm a 2004 baby.
I know, you such a baby.
But so that's why I'm gonna pull up with like more modern stuff.
Go ahead.
But I think Blonde by Frank Ocean.
That's a great one.
Classic. And then the third one, Freedom by Daniel Caesar.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you said that was your one of your first favorite. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So what about some producers that you would like to work with?
That I haven't worked with before?
Yeah.
Girl, D-Mile. You already know. Hi, D-Mile.
Hi, D-Mile. We love you out here.
We love you.
We love you.
I would love to work with D-Mile.
I would love to hear that. Oh,
such a dream.
It needs to happen.
Yeah. And I would also love to work with Devin Morrison.
Oh, Devin Morrison. He's so fire.
Yeah.
The 80s sound.
The 80s sound, the vocal stacks.
He is, He is. See, it's LA though.
LA, that's the place.
Have you reached out to Devin?
Girl, I haven't. I haven't.
Listen, you need to.
Okay, I need to shoot my shot.
Yeah. You say you put yourself out there, remember?
Yeah.
And that's how, how it happens.
And of course, K-Chanada.
Yeah. Ooh. Given the up tempo, we'll be seeing you dancing.
Yeah.
So who is currently, who are you listening to in R&B?
Ooh, I've been listening to a lot of, I would say, underrated artists. I love Colder in June by Kari. She's an artist from London. She's amazing.
Okay.
And I love...
I need to check that out.
Yeah, you need to check her out. She's amazing. And also, I've been listening to Dylan Sinclair's newest song, Lemon Trees.
I love him. He's releasing a song, I think, this week as well.
Yeah.
He's fire. I know he's working on the album, so...
Yeah, he's been staying silent, but slowly but surely, we're getting the music.
Yeah, he's super cool.
Yeah.
So what else can we expect from Hillari this year?
I'm just saying new music.
Yeah.
New music. Just stay tuned for new music. And there's a lot on the hard drive that's going to come out pretty soon. So I'm just excited to just release it all and just show a newer side and elevated side of Hillari. Because she's grown up now.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've heard a couple of the songs that you've been working on and just incredible. I can't wait for the world to hear.
Thank you.
And what about touring? Are you going to be doing any more shows?
Yeah, I'm going to do more shows in Norway. And then I'm going to be ending up this festival season in Norway as well. And so I'm going to do that. And hopefully I'll be doing some headline tours in Norway.
And hopefully we'll see you back in London again soon as well.
Girl, I'm in and out here, so I'll see you in a bit.
So what about your socials? Let everyone know where they can follow you and keep updated.
Yeah, so my socials is Hillari Allison, and you can find me everywhere.
So Hillari, as I've said, you have an incredible voice. Would you mind blessing r&bsauce with an acapella?
Sure, let's go do it. And I constantly die to myself, for God and for nobody else, to unfold my true identity, to dwell what's already set for me. I've learned to let go and accept that I'm forgiven and healed and expect blessings and big miracles. But nature is also intended to be difficult. So I'll bloom where I'm planted, surrender, repented, abide and embrace. I'm your sunshine. I'll sow what I reap and I reap what I sow. Let it mature and we must let it grow. And do your faith and it'll come at your door. It's by your sunshine, only by your sunshine. It's only by your sunshine, only by your sunshine.
Wow,
gracious, sunshine.
amazing. Your tone. We were talking about tone,
Yeah.
girl.
Thank you,
Your
girl.
tone is so beautiful, and them little runs that you give at the end, I'm like, oh.
I'm so humble. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hillari, for coming on R&B Sauce. Keep killing it and making
Thank you for having
music for the soul, right?
Thank you.
I can't wait to see things only get bigger for you, and I'm always going to be supporting your music on R&B Sauce. Everyone, please go and stream and purchase Hillari's music. She is incredible. Thank you, Hillari.
Thank you for having me.